Hi! So this is exciting. I am doing our housing styles unit online. So what I'm going to do is go through the housing style PowerPoint, at least part of it, and then give you an idea of what you should be looking for as you go through the rest of this PowerPoint on your own. On the website you have access to this PowerPoint. There's a guide that you can print off and kind of follow along, or you can print off the PowerPoint and take notes there. There's also a couple links to some good video clips on HGTV that shows different housing styles, so you can get a better feel for the styles that there are. So the first thing that you need to know about identifying different housing styles is that there are three main ways. The architectural features, we get into those more in depth later on in the semester. The roof that is on the house, the type of roof, which we've already discussed different roofs, and then the window style. So those are all three different things that help you identify housing style. So we're going to move on to the first, hopefully, oh, there we go. Okay, the first housing style is the Victorian style, Queen Anne era. It has a wraparound porch, so if you look closely with my mouse, you can see the wraparound porch around the turret, which is terminology we'll get into. Gingerbread trim. The gingerbread trim is additional trim around the house. Here's a good example. It's all decorative, just to make the house fit with the style a little bit more. And then they've done a balloon frame construction, and so within the roof, that's the type of construction that they have used. There are a few more examples of this with these two pictures. You can see that one, it still has the gingerbreading, but it also has the turret that's easy to spot, and then the wraparound porch on both of these. This one you can only see part of it, but it goes around the house there. So this is the first one. The second one that you want to be familiar with is neo-eclectic, and this is a home that you see everywhere around us today here in Utah. It's a home that borrows from the past. So a couple ways to identify it is the Palladian windows and the gable roof. So right here on the front is an example of that window, and then from our roofs unit you know what the gables are. So you can see the gables, which are the upside down V's. So that is neo-eclectic. This is another example of a larger home that's neo-eclectic. And the third one is Cape Cod. Cape Cod is fun. It's a colonial style way back when. You can identify it by three things. It's central chimney. Back in the day when they used these, they had to heat their houses with the chimney. So central chimney. Exterior shingles, so the wood planks that you see on the outside are known as the exterior shingles. And Cape Cod homes are very symmetrical. If you cut it in half, it should mirror one side from the other side. Mirrors the other. So Cape Cod is very simple, but fun. Here's two more examples. You can see that the style is obviously the same. This one is very simple, and this one has a little bit more added to it. You can see the shutters on both of them, and the color added to makes a big difference. So if you like this style of home but you wanted to add more to it, feel free, because you borrow from the past on a lot of these. The next one is the gambrel, which is a Dutch influence. Easy to remember because it looks like the barn roof. When we talked about roofing styles, we went over this as well, where it has the two regular pitches on the roof, and then it goes steep drop down on both sides. So that is the four-pitch roof with Dutch influence, and we remember it as the barn-shaped roof. So gambrel you can find in pretty houses too. It's not just a big ugly barn type. But if you look at this top picture on the top left, that's a really pretty house, I think. It has a lot of variety with it. but you can see the gambrel view there. Okay, the next one is bungalow, which today is going around like crazy as craftsman style. It is very popular. It draws from nature, so you're not going to find a pink bungalow house. It's going to be your beiges, your light tones, your naturistic tones. It has square pillars, which some of my other pictures show better later. A front porch. It's very important to be inviting, neighborhood friendly front porches are there, big with the craftsman style. And then we have dormer windows cut from the roof line. So I'm going to show you, there you go. So you can see here that we have our, oops, there we go, that we have our square pillars out front. You can use rock, you can use different bricks, you can use any kind of plaster. Even plastics are used, but they don't look as well. They aren't very nature filling. The colors used here, green colors, you can see we've got our little gable right there with our dormer windows. The next one I'm going to talk about is the Greek Revival, and this is a neoclassical, so it's getting into the classical style around the colonial era. It's going to have two-story columns. So if you look closely over here, you can see that we have the first floor, and then we have a little deck on the second floor, and we have the columns that go all the way up to the second floor. All the brick or wood is going to be painted whitewashed. And then we have our little portico, which is over here, and then there's one over here. And then you can also identify it with pediment. So I know that there's more than 3 things to identify some of these with, but the more you understand about each housing style, the better it would be, because some of them are so similar. We're only highlighting a few, and you want to be able to identify them. So that is our Greek Revival. Here's a couple more examples of that. Now, what I want you to do is to continue on your own to look at that. Here I have an example of your project assignment. So for each housing style, and there's a project page on the website, for each housing style you need to create an online portfolio. You need to find a picture, paste it into your Word document, and then label it and describe it. So I have here an example from last year a girl did, and she's chosen a different color mat. You want to still stick with your professional matting skills. Make sure that you're measuring them evenly, and it looks like she's done a pretty good job here. One thing that she can improve on is if you look over here, the spacing in the white with the words and the red is good. Over here, spacing is not so good. You can see that there's a lot less white showing, so make that all even so it looks good. She has gone through and just defined everything that the PowerPoint said. What I want you to do is obviously point out the features that help you know that that is a Cape Cod home, but I also want you to describe the house that you picked and your likes and dislikes. What do you think about that house? So this is an example of your project. You can be creative with your matting. Remember, she's done really good here using the same color to mat with. You always want to match those up so that it really brings out the color there. So she's used a great color here to bring out the lighting in this prairie style home. And same with the Georgian. She stuck with the white and black contrasting colors that fit with the house. So this will be your project. You'll have 1 class period to work on this, so that's an hour and a half to work on this and complete it. Okay, so what I want to do now is show you the Weebly website so you know where to go to get all of this information. Right here's the web address at Weebly, turnboa.weebly.com, and once you get here, obviously we're in Interior Design 2, so go down to our Housing Styles unit, and then I've tried to keep it pretty simple for you, everything in pink. You can click to a link and get what you're looking for. So the PowerPoint that we were just looking at, you can also find here to go through it again. There's really just a couple specifics about each housing style, and the study guide is number 2. The third point is the HGTV video clips, and that is a pretty cool website, so we'll see if I can get it to pull up. And there's 26 short video clips about different home styles, and so it shows you down here. There's always a commercial before each one, but it shows you down here the different styles. So if you're more interested in a Queen Anne, you click on Queen Anne, you endure the short commercial. Sometimes they'll give you good tips, sometimes you just endure the commercial. And we'll watch that on Queen Anne, but you can see there's farmhouse, Tudor, craftsman style, Georgian, a lot of the styles that we're talking about, that we're learning about. So okay, I'm just going to show you the Cape Cod style. My computer's being funny.
If you want to add a bit of that Cape Cod look to your home, there are a few simple, inexpensive projects that anyone can try. But there are a few things you need to follow to stay true to the style.
So Cape Cod style homes came about in the 1600s in coastal New England. It's a pretty minimal functional style.
The climate is tough. I mean, you've got basically shifting sand, you've got a lot of wind, in the wintertime it's very, very cold. So these first settlers had to develop a house that could withstand that. The first house was very, very modest, a very small, side-gabled house, people coming on the side.
Okay, so that gives you an example. So you can go through and watch all of these videos. Then your housing style project guideline is found here. Go pull up my Google Doc, download it, print it, whatever. It gives you a list of all the styles you need to do, directions, and then your grading sheet. So make sure you're doing everything that is asked. You have to have the distinguishing features. This isn't all flubbed up when you download it, so make sure and do that. Then this is still loading, but I have a lot of pictures there that you can go through, and then there's this YouTube video clip on the craftsman style that you can watch. It's just 2 minutes long, so make sure and watch that. Up here it says, after completing all previous assignments, scrolling through pictures, and watching the YouTube clip, complete the housing style quiz. So after you've done everything, submitted your housing style project, then you take the quiz, and that's the last thing that you need to do there. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you go to the home page, I guess it's at the top of every page, my email link is right there. You can go ahead and send that to me. Okay, so that wraps up my demonstration for you. So if you have any questions, let me know, and good luck.